How's it going, Godzilla fans, kaiju fans, collectors, and just general people of YouTube? This is Chainsaw 1964 back at it with another figure review. My bad, I meant to say coming back to you. But anyways, with that being said, we are back with another figure review. This time we're going to be reviewing the Bandai Movie Monster Series Gigan 2004 Chainsaw version, or modified version. I forget what the name it says on the tag, but point is, he has chainsaw arms now. Yeah, he has freaking chainsaw arms now. And I cannot believe we got this guy in the 6-inch figure line for Bandai. I had the 8-inch figure a while back. Wasn't sure if we are gonna get the 6-inch, but here we are. Now, came out back in 2024. Here we are. We have him in the 6-inch figure scale, and it is amazing. That being said, I'm not going to over hype the figure because there's stuff to be left desired, but for what we have, it is still amazing. We have 6-inch Chainsaw Gigan figure, which I'm really happy about. That being said, let's get into detail, which is possibly the biggest highlight for this figure for me, is the detail. You got all the regular Gigan detail going on here, all the mechanics and everything looking very, very nice. The cybernetic kind of Star Trek-y alien detail, I guess you can say, with it looks like a Star Trek alien suit, in my opinion. But yeah, really, really nice detail wise. You got this regular kind of spines here that are kind of molded together. They're rather muted, but honestly it's the same thing on the other Gigan figures, so it was to be expected. The tail spike looks very, very nice. Nothing too crazy going on over there, but it still looks nice. On the side of the tail here, his kneecaps done up very nicely. Same kneecaps you're going to find in the other Gigan figure, I believe. The only difference is, in actuality, for the Gigan figures is going to be his chainsaw arms, which are very nicely done. I am not exactly thrilled that they did this, although I'm understanding why they did this, to keep the structure so it doesn't like crunch too much. So I'm happy with it, don't get me wrong, but this is just something that's a little, like, I thought kind of, when it first came out of the package, I was like, it's interesting. Not disappointed with it though. I really like the detail that they did for the neck, the alternate neck for Gigan here. It's turned out very, very nice. This is where, after he gets his head blown off by Godzilla, the Zillions reattach his neck with a reinforced head now, which, by the way, the head, I like the new horn, very nice and very, very jagged looking. I mean, yeah, it's just very, very nice detail all around, even on the wings, which are probably the same wings that they used for the other Gigan, I believe. Yeah, even though honestly they look different. They look like 3 separate pieces all plugged in to this one hole, which is really interesting. Yeah, like here, look, or maybe 2 separate pieces, but it's interesting how they did the wings on this one, which I didn't notice if they did it differently from the other one. Okay, so update. Yeah, the wings are the same on the newer release of the Gigan 2004 figure as they are on this one, so there's not really much difference there in terms of the wings. That same goes for the paint, which bringing us to paint now, because that's pretty much it for detail. Really happy with all the detail going on here. Oh, by the way, jagged pincers, mouth pincers too. Love that. But detail here, or I mean paint, bringing us to paint now for the wings. This is to be expected. Wings, nothing too crazy. Very happy they have red here, even on the inside, which is really nice. They have red for the Gigan's wings, which are really, really nice. And then all the silver parts, really, really nice too. Chainsaw bits, the kneecaps, toes, his face, his neck guard, his really big jagged horn here, all really nice. But I mean, and the red on the eyes and the laser bulb. But that's about it where paint ends. For this figure, there's a lot to be desired in the paint department, for me anyways, because what we got from the newer release of the 2004 Gigan figure, I like that paint versus this one, even though honestly this one I really don't mind. But for me, what I'm kind of bummed out about is the consistency, because I do like the paint that was on the 2004 Gigan released, you know, the 2000, because I do like the paint that was released on the newer 2004 Gigan. But in contrast to this just seems lacking compared to that one. And on top of that, even though this is on the other figure too, this whole part isn't painted silver, which it should be, and this part is completely lacking that whole silver paint, which also should be. So I don't know what's up with Gigan. Well, I mean, I don't know what's up with Bandai and Tails, not Gigan and Tails. I don't know what's up with Bandai and their Tails, but they've been lacking on the Tails for the paint department. And it's going to be something seen as we keep reviewing the figures that we're going to be reviewing. But that's enough bitching and moaning for me in terms of paint, because honestly, like I said, really great detail, and for what we have for paint, it's really nice. Just there's quite a bit to be left desired in terms of paint, but it's not terrible. It's really not terrible at all. We have really good articulation, that's why too. The arms move here. There is glue seals for the chainsaws, but the chainsaws do not move. The head swivels 360, might add, very nicely. It does rub against this horn, so you just gotta be careful. The legs move 360 as well. And then we have a glue seal here at the tail, but the tail does not move. So there's about 5 points of articulation for this guy again, and they're all really solid points of articulation. I'm happy with it. With articulation out of the way, this brings us to scaling, and who better to scale him up with than the person he goes up against, which is Godzilla. The scale is really nice for Godzilla. He's pretty much the same height, maybe a little taller than the other Gigan because of his horn being a little bigger, but it sizes up very nicely. Very happy with this sizing. I believe it's movie accurate too. But with Godzilla out of the way, the other person he goes up against is Mothra here, and this sizes up very nicely as well, especially when they're kind of doing their aerial dog fight, and then when he chops off her wing. Yeah, it looks very good sizing wise. And before I forget, because I almost forgot this guy, his counterpart, his villain counterpart in the movie Monster X. Yes, I did custom paint my Monster X, and it looks really great. I get that, but this is what I was going for. Nighttime Monster X, which is how you get the point. Point is though, this sizes up very nicely as well. Monster X was a bit taller than Gigan, and I like the sizing in my opinion. So yeah, really, again, sizing knocked out of the park with this figure. And hopefully we get more of the Final Wars figures, especially like Kamacuras, Kumonga, but really the one that I'm really waiting for, the top two, is King Caesar and Ibira. If we can get those two in Final Wars, you know, Bandai 6-inch figure form, that would be cool. But only really King Caesar is really the only one I'm really hoping for. The rest I'm okay without, but if Bandai does do them in the future, that would be awesome. Just like if we get Mothra and Baragon for GMK, but we'll get there when we get there. But to finish off this figure review, overall, everything is great in terms of detail, sizing, articulation. Perfectly happy with it. There's quite a bit to be left desired in terms of paint, especially with the differentiating of paint from this figure and the figure we got before of his regular arm version before he got his head blown off by Godzilla. But that's for me something small and minute because we have a Chainsaw Gigan. So again, very happy with this figure. There's just some things left to be desired, like I said, and I recommend you guys, this is one figure I do recommend you guys pick up, especially if you're a fan of Gigan, and if you are a big fan of Final Wars, you cannot miss out on this version of him. But with that being said, I hope you guys liked today's video. If you guys did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. Really appreciate that. If you guys think I may have missed anything, or if you guys disagree with me and you think paint's totally fine with this guy, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you guys like what you see on the channel, please do be sure to subscribe. But yeah, that being said, this has been Chainsaw 1964 saying until next time, guys. Peace.